So I've run into a problem. Hey you guys, what's up? We got a simple, quick little project for the FZ today. Basically, we're taking off some old frame sliders and putting some new ones on. Now, some quick backstory. I bought frame sliders a few years ago and installed them on the FZ, both on the back and the front, but the back is one brand and the front is a different brand. Front's a different brand because it was the only brand I could find at the time, at least, that double as not just frame sliders, but lift points for the front of the bike as well. But as it turns out, I've never used the front spools as lift points for the FZ, so what's the point of having... Oh, there goes my light again. This is like deja vu from the other video. That doesn't necessarily... Yeah, so take the old frame slider lift spools off and put my new just frame sliders on. Hopefully it goes better than how my ring light operation is going. Alright, so really quick, these are the rear frame slider slash lift spools. And they're pretty small and slick and I like them. Nice design, compact, and I use them to lift the bike fairly frequently. And then, coming around to the front, these are the front ones. Now on camera they probably look pretty similar, but in person they just are bigger and bulkier, just kind of hang off the bike more than I would like, and they're just not as small and slick as I was hoping. So these are gonna go away and we'll get the new ones on. These appear to be 13 millimeters, so I'm gonna get a ratchet on both ends and start taking them off. Pretty simple to install these and pretty much just as simple to take them off. And probably will be going on eBay real soon. All right, and these are the new ones. So if I can figure out how to open this thing up without slicing my hand open, that would be cool. All right, let's go get these on the bike. Don't forget that spacer. All right, here goes in one end. All right, it's out the other side. Get this piece on. So I've run into a problem. The dowel is sticking out. All right, so we're back around to the other side again. Watch what happens when I push the dowel all the way through. So this is everything. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera as I'm trying to do this. So imagine this nut being flush in that opening, and move the camera even more. So look how much that sticks out, which I think is kind of sloppy. So I'm gonna take this thing out, mark it, and try to grind it down and then clean up the threads. All right, so here's what I've done. While the dowel was in the wheel, I marked the threads with ink. I'm not sure if you can see it. And then once I took it out, I wrapped it with some painter's tape to mark the side that I'm not grinding down. Let's give it a shot. All right, I got it. Let's go get these on the bike. Spacer. Wow, apparently someone's doing flybys or something.
Negative, Ghost Rider, the pattern is full.
Just tightening them up evenly. All right, there we go. All right, now check this out. See how flush it is? Beautiful. So much better than a freaking raw dowel sticking out. So it's got a couple threads worth of depth in there. And then on the other side, it's basically the same thing. It's flush, but about maybe one thread or so of depth. So they're almost exactly in the same position in relation to each other. The camera's not gonna do it justice, but they're just so much more slick and streamlined than the previous set I had on. So cool. That is one more project out of the way. All right, you guys, just like that, old frame sliders off and new frame sliders on. But of course I had to go and say that it was gonna be a simple, straightforward job and probably ended up jinxing myself. So if it hadn't been for grinding down that dowel and reshaping the threads a little bit, this literally would have been just a number of seconds. Something that seems simple and straightforward evolved into something more complicated. You know what I always say? Hey, you know what? That's how it goes. That's the way it goes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's project. Done, out of the way, on to the next. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.